If you're going to have a federal government asserting that they have to have this power so everybody is treated equally, and then they don't treat everyone equally, it seems to me that that's something we should go back to the court and ask them whether or not they want to reconsider whether this is an appropriate use of the federal powers.
Breaking news. Alberta has officially pushed the independence movement to the front of the national stage, and Mark Carney's government never saw it coming. For years, Ottawa dismissed the West's anger as noise, as fringe politics, as something that would fade. But today the shock is undeniable. Alberta is moving, petitions are surging, and the numbers prove independence is no longer a dream. It's a live option. Mark Carney, once hailed as Canada's economic savior, is now caught off guard by the very province his policies tried to box in. Carney built his reputation on global banking halls, on speeches about climate goals, on financial discipline. But Alberta doesn't care about spreadsheets. Alberta cares about survival, and survival has become impossible under Ottawa's suffocating rules. This push didn't happen overnight. It's been decades in the making. Ottawa drains Alberta's economy of $20 to $22 billion every single year. That's $5,000 stolen from every Albertan year after year, decade after decade. Added up, more than $600 billion siphoned away in 50 years. That's generational theft. That's money that could have built hospitals, schools, roads, and a future for Alberta's children. Instead, it bankrolls provinces that mock Alberta while cashing its checks. That's not partnership. That's exploitation. And Albertans are done tolerating it. Danielle Smith drew the line in the sand months ago. 12 demands delivered to Ottawa. Repeal Bill C-69, the No Pipelines Bill. Scrap the tanker ban, end the emissions cap. Kill the net zero car mandate. Restore carbon tax control. Guarantee export corridors. These weren't suggestions, these were ultimatums. Alberta gave Ottawa 6 months. 5 have already passed. Not a single concession, not a single repeal, nothing but the same smug silence. And that's the shock. Alberta isn't waiting anymore. The independence petitions are already above the legal threshold. The old barrier was 640,000 signatures, impossible to hit, but the rules changed. The new threshold? 177,000. Organizers already boast more than 240,000 pledges. That means the referendum is no longer fantasy. It's locked in, it's real, it's binding, and Carney's government can't sweep it under the rug. Carney's problem is that he underestimated the anger. He thought Alberta would rant, then retreat. He thought equalization could buy silence. He thought Ottawa's control was permanent. But the numbers are blowing up in his face. Polls show 45% of Albertans now support independence. Among federal conservatives in Alberta, that number soars to 70%. In only 8 weeks, independence shifted from the margins to the mainstream. That's why Carney looks blindsided. His government is scrambling for words, but Albertans don't want words. They want freedom. The patience is gone. The faith is gone. The deal is broken. Ottawa treated Alberta like an endless cash machine, and now Alberta is ready to pull the plug. But here's the real danger for Ottawa. Alberta isn't alone. Saskatchewan is right behind. Their petition only needs 125,000 signatures, and organizers are already gathering steam. Premier Scott Moe has said it clearly. If the people want a referendum, he won't stop it. That's practically a green light. Saskatchewan knows the same pain. Equalization drains, Ottawa dictates, suffocating policies. Their destiny is tied to Alberta's. And it doesn't stop there. Yukon is starting to whisper louder than ever. Families crushed by $2,000 a month rents, heating bills wiping out paychecks, healthcare so broken people are flown south for specialists. Ottawa's answer? Shrugs and excuses. The Yukon had to build its own healthcare authority because Ottawa abandoned it. That's not governance, that's betrayal, and betrayal breeds rebellion. Yukon may be small, but its voice carries symbolic weight. When Northern frustration joins Western revolt, Ottawa can't pretend this is just prairie whining anymore. Interior BC is restless too. Communities strangled by federal policies, industries mocked, jobs sacrificed on the altar of Ottawa's green dreams. People are tired. They see Alberta fighting and they're ready to join. The domino effect is real. Once Alberta opens the door, Saskatchewan follows, Yukon pushes in, and BC adds pressure. That's not a province breaking away. That's a coalition forming. That's Confederation breaking down in real time. Carney's government has no playbook for this. Ottawa elites sip lattes and sneer at oil and gas, the very industries paying their bills. They talk about climate summits and global targets while Alberta talks about feeding families, keeping jobs, and building a future. These aren't differences in policy. These are differences in values. Alberta lives by work, grit, faith, and family. Ottawa lives by dictates, bureaucracy, and control. Once politics becomes about culture, not just money, there's no middle ground left. That's why independence is no longer a fringe idea. It's not about anger, it's about survival. Alberta is done asking for respect inside Canada. It's demanding the right to live free outside of it. Mark Carney and his allies can't spin this away. They can't throw out more talking points about unity when unity has already shattered. They can't lecture Alberta on economics when Ottawa has stolen $500 billion in the name of fairness. They can't preach climate commitments while driving energy workers into unemployment lines. They've lost the argument, and now they're losing the country. History tells the story clearly. Norway walked away from Sweden, Slovakia split from Czechoslovakia, Ireland broke from the UK, bad unions collapsed under their own weight. Canada is walking the same path. A nation built on extraction and exploitation was never sustainable. Alberta is simply the first to say the quiet part out loud. The countdown is on. October 1st is more than a deadline. It's the point of no return. If Ottawa doesn't bend, Alberta won't just push independence, it will pull the trigger. And once that happens, the rest follows. Saskatchewan, Yukon, Interior, British Columbia, Confederation collapses overnight, and Carney's government caught completely off guard. They thought they had time. They thought Alberta would never move this far. They thought petitions were empty noise. But the ground shifted faster than they could imagine. Alberta's push is here. The movement has teeth. The numbers are real. The people are ready. This is Canada's Yugoslavia moment. Two nations pretending to share one flag. But the truth is clear. Alberta no longer belongs to Ottawa. It belongs to itself. And if Carney doesn't understand that, history will teach him the hard way. Because Alberta isn't asking anymore. It's deciding.